it is improper to have i's in the denominator. So all of these examples have i's in the denominator. And notice that all of these denominators are monomials. This is a binomial because there's two items. This is a monomial, okay? So what we're going to do if the denominator is a monomial, we're going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by I. So I get 10i divided by 2i squared. And remember, I squared is just -1. So instead of I squared, I put -1. So this is 10i divided by -2. 10 divided by -2 is -5. So your answer is -5i. And notice, no more i's in the denominator. Here, I have a monomial in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply by I in both the numerator and denominator. So I get 4i divided by -9i squared. I squared is just -1. So this is 4i over -9 times -1. So this becomes 4i divided by a +9. And notice there's no more I in the denominator, so that's fine. For this problem, notice I still have a monomial in the denominator. So whenever you have a monomial in the denominator, you multiply by I. And I'm going to multiply the entire numerator by I. 28 times I is 28i. -8i times another I is -8i squared. The denominator, you have 4 and then 2 i's would be I squared. Now we're going to use the rule that I squared is equal to -1. So I'm going to replace these I squareds with a -1. So my result is I have 28i, and a -8 and a -1 will create a +8. 4 times a -1 will make a -4. And we're not going to leave our answer like this. We can simplify. 28 divided by a -4 is a -7i. 8 divided by a -4 is a -2. And the proper way to write this is to put the real number, the real part in the front, and the imaginary part in the back. So this is the proper format. Okay, so all of these examples had a monomial in the denominator. If you have a binomial in the denominator, then you're going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. So all the conjugate does is just change this symbol. So we're going to multiply by 5 plus I. The conjugate is the same exact thing, but the opposite symbol. So instead of a minus, you'll have a plus. And we're going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate. In this case, the conjugate would be still 6 and a 2i, but instead of a plus sign, it would be a minus sign. So we're going to multiply not only the denominator by the conjugate, but the numerator as well. So let's multiply it out. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times I is 2i. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times I is 5i. Negative I times 5 is negative 5i. And negative I times another I is negative I squared. And notice in my denominator, 5i minus 5i is just 0, so that's gone. So I have 10 plus 2i in the numerator, and then I have 25 minus, and remember, I squared is just -1. And these two negative signs make a positive sign. So I actually have 25 plus 1, which is 26. And your numerator is 10 plus 2i. We're not going to leave our answer like this. Divide all three numbers by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 2 divided by 2 is just 1, so I'm left with I. 26 divided by 2 is 13. So this is your final answer. And notice there's no more i's in the denominator like there was in the beginning. You have an I right there. For this one, we also have an I in the denominator, and that's not proper. So how to get rid of it is to multiply by its conjugate. So 6 minus 2i is its conjugate. So let's multiply. 5i times 6 is 30i. 5i times negative 2i is negative 10i squared. Now let's do the denominator. 6 times 6, that's 36. 6 times negative 2i is negative 12i. 2i times 6 is a positive 12i. 2i times negative 2i is negative 4i squared. And remember, I squared is negative 1. So I'm going to substitute all of the I squareds with a negative 1. Okay, so I have 30i, and a negative 10 and a negative 1 will make it a positive 10. And notice this right here, negative 12i plus 12i cancels out. So I'm left with 36, and these two negatives make it a positive 4. So I get 30i plus 10 over 36 plus 4 is 40. Please do not leave your answer like this. All three numbers can be divided by 10. 30 divided by 10 is 3. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 40 divided by 10 is 4. It's also proper to put the imaginary part last. So I'm going to put the 1 in front and the 3i in the back. So this is your proper format.